Welcome back to another video for HarborFinancialOnline.com. Today I'm going to be talking about the child tax credit amount and what you can qualify for with getting the child tax credit. So I'm going to get the video going here and explain this to you guys. So the max amount you can get for the child tax credit is $1,000 per child. Now there's no limit on the number of children you can report. So if you had four or five children that you may qualify for, you can report all of them. There's no maximum amount. There are income limits to qualify for the credit that you can't have earned above a certain amount. So if you're filing married jointly, if you made $110,000 or more, you're going to be phased out of the credit. If you're filing single, head of household, or a qualifying widow or a widower, the amount is $75,000 or more. Okay. Now this is taxable income, so it's not what your gross income was. This is what your taxable income was, because you have all the deductions and credits, and this is what's left that is taxed, that these amounts apply to. If you're filing married, filing separate, the amount is $55,000 or more. So you can see there's filing married separate. They include, basically a penalty there because the amount is so low, and then you're phased out of this credit. Now, when you're totaling your income, you must include all foreign earned income. Normally this is going to be excluded from taxes. If you're working in another country, you're going to get excluded up to $82,500 from foreign earned income. But if you're trying to qualify for the child tax credit, you must put that income back in. So it's going to phase a lot of people out. There's certain forms you have to file to get the child tax credit. You can't file the 1040-EZ. You need to file either the 1040, 1040-A, or Form 1040-NR. Now, if you normally file the 1040-EZ, don't be afraid to do the Form 1040. It's not that much different. If you do the return online, it's going to make it very simple for you if you're going from the 1040-EZ to the 1040. It's definitely worth it to be able to qualify for this credit to do the regular 1040. Now, you must have a qualifying child according to the IRS rules and requirements. Here you can see the child has to be a U.S. citizen, U.S. national, or U.S. resident alien with a valid Social Security number. What I mean by valid Social Security number is what the IRS has in their records from Social Security. They get that directly from them. It needs to match your tax information. If it doesn't match, it's a computer that's just going to reject it. It's just going to reject the credit. There's not anyone looking at it. It's just an automatic rejection. So that's why it's so important to have a valid number in there. Make sure that you're not transposing the numbers or missing a number. It has to be the actual number they have with their records. The reported children must have lived with you for more than half of the year, but there are exceptions to this rule. Now, if you can prove that they had to go away, say for boarding school or any kind of school for more than half of the year, you can still qualify. If they had to go away to a juvenile home, you just need proof that they stayed at this juvenile home and they were required to go. A parental divorce where the child had to live, say, with another family member for more than half the year, you're still going to qualify. In these kinds of situations, they just want justification. They want some kind of proof that you can, prove that they had to do this, they had to go to school, they were required by the courts to go to a juvenile home, or, documentation of a divorce, and that, the child had to be placed somewhere else. We get a lot of questions, say, if the child was born in October, they only lived with you obviously for the rest of the year, so you just have 3 months there. And they ask, well, that's not more than half of the year. Well, the IRS rules state that you still will qualify as long as the child was born in that year, no matter when he or she was born. If they lived with you for the rest of the year, you're still going to qualify for the credit. So the child could be born, the very end of December and lived with you for one day. You're still going to qualify because they're not going to penalize or take the credit away from you from when their child was born. So I want to take you to our website real quick. Now we have pages devoted just to the child tax credit. You can see here it's a very popular credit, so that's why we focus a lot on this. And if you felt like you missed anything in that video, I'd recommend coming to our website. We have the full page here to the child tax credit. You can learn a lot more about it. You can learn more about the ages, because there's some other requirements that I do cover in my other videos. I just wanted to give the amount that you qualify for, the $1,000, and some of the most important areas you should know. But there are some other small things that could exclude you from the credit. So I recommend checking out this page. Through our site, you can do a free online estimate to see if you qualify for this credit and how it's going to affect your refund. So check that out when you get a chance. Let's go back to the video. HarborFinancialOnline.com is the site. So again, this is probably the most important thing people want to know, is if their child had to live away for more than half the year. Just make sure you have documentation to be able to prove it if that's what you're reporting. I appreciate you watching the videos. You can prepare your return directly online at HarborFinancialOnline.com, or just do a free online estimate. So thank you, and hopefully you'll check out some of my future videos.